All right, let's make the transition. How's it going, everyone? Well, look, someone bought the course in San Francisco. Good old San Francisco. All right, let's see what we got. Let me change the view here real quick. There we go. All right. I'm really excited for this one, guys and girls, of course. It's I've talked about this many times on the stream, you know, but yeah, I'm just excited that it's out. And today is a big stream because we have two major things to talk about. Really, first part I want to dedicate to the Masterclass that came out today, and the second part we're gonna go into the remix competition. We had a lot of people joining the competition. I heard a lot of really cool ideas and tracks, and we had to boil it down to a top 3 with the amazing prizes that we're gonna give away. But of course, the best prize is a chance to get released on SEKORA. So yeah, we're gonna go into that later. Leo Loretti is gonna join us. I believe the Mind of One guys are gonna join us as well. I'm not sure. Even Greg might join us. Who knows? Who knows? It's always a surprise. Let me fix the camera right here. There we go. All right. Wow. Damn. We got a lot of viewers this time. That's good to see. I cannot just name everyone, but I can see a couple of the regulars, of course. Leo's already in the stream. Abstract Music Lab. There we go. Birch is here. Elims. How's it going, guys? I'm miss. Oh, there we go. Mods are here as well. Who else? Who else? A lot of familiar faces. Alright. Yeah, cool. Like the video, guys. Enjoy my personal. Alright. Well, let's just get into it. Honestly, I don't really know where to start because I just want to talk about the course. Also, do some Q&A stuff. You know, type of questions that you guys might have. What we have with so here's the product page. First of all, big shout out to Production Music Live. I really like what they're doing, and the thing is with the Spotify course, it's something I used to give seminars on this topic at several conferences throughout the Netherlands, but also Belgium, and last year also Berlin. And it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, because every time I gave a seminar about this topic, the amount of interest from artists seemed to increase over and over again. So it's crazy to see how many people want to learn about this. I mean, in my opinion, Spotify has revolutionized the music industry. There's also a really cool series right now on Netflix called The Playlist. I've watched it this week. I watched all the episodes, and to be honest, like, they're very accurate when it comes to how sort of things are in the music industry. Other things are a bit exaggerated, I feel like, but a lot of things, how they sort of explained how things are going with the whole pirate-based situation years ago, and piracy being a big thing for the music industry, and how Spotify and other streaming services actually created a possibility for artists to generate an income again. And I think the biggest part of what Spotify has made possible, especially through their amazing playlisting system, because that's honestly what makes Spotify the best streaming service in my opinion, is they've given more power to independent artists and labels than ever before. So before, everything was sort of, how do you say, owned by the majors. You know, a lot of the power was in hands of a couple few companies. It still is, you know, it's not like the majors lost all their power, but there's a lot more independent labels and artists, etc., that actually have enough power within Spotify and within the music industry now, and it's a lot easier to get your foot in the door and to get noticed by yourself, just the way that I've done it with building my network and connections and business on Spotify. So the backbone of my whole label and business model sort of runs on Spotify. And over the years, of course, we've expanded that. So, download sales and copyright royalties and neighboring rights and all these other income streams have increased massively over the last years. But for me, it all started with Spotify. And that is exactly the story of what I teach in this course. So everything I've learned over the last years, I've been doing this for 6-7 years, everything is in the course. And this is it's a little bit of a sales pitch, but not really. You guys know, the guys of you that have been watching for longer know that I'm very transparent when it comes to everything I do, especially with music business and also music stuff myself. But with this course, I really wanted to create a guide that shows everything that you need to know about Spotify, how it works, but more specifically, how to get a good amount of streams, because that's eventually what everyone sort of wants. And building strong playlists, building a network, getting placements in good Spotify playlists. Everything that I know it's all in here. And today's stream is, so there's going to be 2 streams that are going to be dedicated to the topic of Spotify. Today, I just want to scratch the surface. So you can, of course, drop your friends, don't drop your friends. You can drop your questions in the chat, and I'll try to get to your questions in as much detail as I can. But what this stream is about, it's about the launch and any questions that you might have. So we're going to do like short little overview of what's in the course, the type of content you can expect, the chapters that are in there. We're going to like scratch the surface. And then what we did is we thought about this also with PML, and I wanted to do something special for the people that actually buy and support this course, because I really appreciate you that buys the course. So what we're going to do is the first month, if you buy the course in January, then you get invited to a private live stream. That's going to be an exclusive private live stream. It's going to be streamed only once, and the recording of the stream, we might record it, but it's probably going to stay exclusive. So what we're doing in the next stream, so the stream that you get access to once you buy the course, is a exclusive stream where you can ask any question. Doesn't matter what it is. If you have any questions about my experience with certain parties that revolve around Spotify, or how to build playlists, any specific question that you might have that reflects on your specific situation and that is not directly answered in the course, or you have a sort of uncertainty, you can ask that in that exclusive stream. So that's going to be a very in-depth stream where I basically give away all the quote-unquote secrets that there are about Spotify and building an audience and basically making money on Spotify. So that's going to be in that exclusive stream, and today is it's just the launch stream, so to speak. I'm going to scratch the surface. Of course, you can ask your questions. I also got a great question from Pinkowich, who is one of our mods on Discord and on YouTube. I'm not sure if he's here yet, but we'll just go into that. And then the second part, oh yeah, there he is. Pinkowich, how's it going? And then the second part is going to be the remix competition. So the remix competition, I gotta say, Leo's done an amazing job with getting... Wow, Kessel, thank you so much, man. Dankeschön, vielen Dank. I know it's German. That's a big donation, my man. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Also a big shout out to Leo, because Leo has been putting a lot of effort in his remix competition. Of course, it's his track, so it makes sense. But yeah, he's done a great job in getting a lot of partners on board to give us licenses of the amazing software that they sell to be part of this remix competition. But that's going to be part 2, so we're going to go into that later. I'll also go through all the prizes that we're going to give away for the winners, or to the winners of the remix competition. And in the second part, Leo's going to join us on stream, and Greg is also going to join us on stream. I think he messaged me saying, what did he say? What he said. He's gonna try and be there a bit earlier tonight. So if you guys don't follow Greg yet, the A&R of SEKORA, his Instagram handle is blank page. Go send him a message. Let's spam him so we make sure that he's gonna be on stream, because he rarely joins the stream. So now it's time that he does. So if you haven't checked the page yet, there's a couple of like screenshots and course impressions. So you can get acquainted with it. These are my playlists that I've built over the years, and the course curriculum. So to quickly go over, because I haven't seen any questions specific about. So if you have any questions about Spotify or my background, how I got into it, that type of stuff, feel free to ask away. So the course curriculum, in the beginning, there's just a short introduction, also on how to use this course. So there's a specific way. Technically, how to use this course in short is, even though everything is laid out in a way that makes sense, so you're starting up with setting up your release, and that starts already with the production process. So nowadays, people have such a short attention span, and because it's not, you're not making sales from downloads, you're making sales from how many times your track gets streamed. So you have to sort of optimize your track to, make it better for streaming instead of just for downloads. So that's what this chapter is about. Also, the comparison of releasing a track with a label or releasing it yourself, building a release schedule, anything that makes sense to create some momentum. So that's everything that you sort of do before you're going to go into your release. Then when you have your track ready, we're going to set up the accounts, set up your artist profile, submit the track to the editorial team. Funny story, the entire course has been recorded with a camera that I borrowed from I loaned from my good friend, who's a professional videographer, but he's also a musician. His name is Mitch Decline. He has great techno tunes. He's a techno artist. He releases on Yours For in his labels. I think it's Spectrum is what it's called. And when I finished the course, which was about 3 months ago, I actually I gave him a copy to review it, so like a draft, like a completely first version to review it. He went through the entire course, and he actually took all the tips that I explained in these 2 chapters. He applied that to his pitch, his editorial pitch, and he landed, I believe it was Electronic Rising, which is one of the largest house and techno editorial playlists on Spotify. So apparently it works. Not trying to sell you on this course, but apparently it works. Then after you had your preparations for release day, anything you can do when you're scheduling your track and up until the track is released, then we're going to go into the part is playlisting. This is probably the most requested part. Also something that, like, type of information I have never seen anywhere online. I mean, I did my due diligence. I've checked a lot of courses, and none of the courses that I saw and that I followed, because I actually bought a couple courses as well, to see like what they're talking about, and basically what their sort of secret formula is, because everything has a sort of get to the point type of answer in a course. But none of them talk about, actually, they all say like, yeah, playlisting is important, blah blah, but none of them actually shows how to playlist properly, how to build a strong playlist, how to utilize that playlist, gain a lot of streams, gain a lot of followers, and eventually also use that playlist to get connected with other playlisters. Because I can tell you, as soon as my playlist started to grow, and especially this one, this is probably like one of the most popular ones that people find, and this one, that helped me get on the radar with all the major players within this niche. So every like large label that you want to release on, they all reached out to me, not the other way around, because they want to be on my playlist, because I'm one of the biggest playlisters within this niche. And everything that I did to grow my playlist, so everything, like nothing is spare, like all the information is actually in this chapter. So how to set it up, how to build it, how to brand it, how to write up the right keywords so you can optimize it for the search engine in Spotify, and also ways to promote it and to advertise it, because advertising is actually a big part of building a playlist. Whether you like it or not, it can accelerate the growth. So yeah, that's a big thing. Then when we went to that, the next thing is Spotify promotion. So this is when the track actually comes out. What are you gonna do on release day? And then is we're gonna find and approach playlist curator. So I have a couple of really useful tips on how to find the right playlisters that actually make sense. It's quite easy, honestly, but also, even if you find a playlist that you like, that you think does a lot of streams, and you know who's behind it, how do you then effectively reach out to this person? So let me give you a couple short tips, or what I experience as a curator that people do. Yo, Juice is here as well. How's it going, man? Damn, 100 followers? That's fire, man. It's crazy. Crazy amount of followers, Jules. It's actually the promo video has Jules' remix in it, or was it either Jules' track or the remix? I'm not sure. I think it was New Horizons that they used. Actually, let me check it actually. Real quick. I think, yeah, this is the promo video.
Welcome, I'm your tutor and host, Westy Verheij, and I'm here to take you through the wonderful world that is Spotify. So why Spotify? As an independent artist, I was able to grow a full-time business and eventually a record label out of just Spotify to begin with. Spotify is the leading musical platform, but also sort of social media platform. As a monotone artist, you really need to figure out and understand how this works. So this course is specifically about Spotify, how you can learn to grow your audience, really get to know Spotify and use it to your advantage. You can use it as a stepping stone, for example, to, like me, starting a record label, or if you're just an independent artist and you want to gain more streams on Spotify, you can learn to do this as well. By the end of this course, I hope you're going to get a clear understanding of how Spotify works, the ins and outs, the tips and tricks I've used over the years to grow my artist and my record label, and also get a significant increase in your followers, your streams, your listeners, and overall more engagement on your profile and your music.
Ding, ding, ding. All right. That melody sticks in your head. Definitely one of my favorite Bound to Divide tracks. All right, so yeah, with Spotify promotion, the one thing I can tell you is when you're writing out, and of course I go into detail in this course, but when you reaching out to curators, one of the biggest thing. Oh, Bound to Divide, man. Publishing royalties, yeah, you get sync options. Yeah, you take it up with Alex and Franz. They'll take care of you. Yeah, the biggest thing I notice when people reach out to me, and I get this on like either Instagram or email, is where even on the SEKORA demo email address, so like the email address that you guys use to send in your demo to get signed to the label, I sometimes get people that send Spotify links in there. They're just like, hey, they don't like mention any name, and they're just like, whatever, they had some story about that track, and then they drop in a Spotify link. So I get that quite often, and the big question is, of course, like, how do you differentiate from all the noise? Like, how do you stand out from all the people that are spamming curators with their tracks? And the bigger you are as a curator, the more influence you have as a curator, the more spam you get, basically. And the thing is, here at SEKORA, we have an actual team. We have a team of 3 people checking submissions on different platforms. So the platforms we use are Submit Hub, which is one thing, which is also something that I talk about in the course. We use Playlist Push, for example, where we get campaigns, so people sending campaigns. And we use the Discord. So the Discord is always a free option, and that's something that I especially made for the community, which I tend to check myself. But everything else, and I personally don't really have a lot of time to check submissions, so that's why I have my team to do it for me. But still, even though we have 3 people checking submissions, some of us just still don't get to it because there are so many submissions. And what tends to happen is when people just send in an email or an Instagram DM, most of the time Instagram DMs, they get into the request or the spam folder, so I don't see them anyway. But in cases if I do check them or I do see them, most of the time I don't actually have time to check tracks. But it really feels like people are just spamming their music and they're not really thinking about how do I come across. So the biggest tip I can give you is when you're sending someone your music or just anything, when you're requesting anything, or you're sending an email, like think about how do you come across. Like let's imagine yourself, you're sitting in the other person's chair, and what is this saying to them? Like if you open a message or an email with just a hey and no name attached, right? That's already like a red flag, because honestly, when someone sends me a message you can do this with any curator, right? If anyone sends me a message on Instagram, like honestly, if you look at this page, how hard is it to figure out what my name is, right? But you'll be surprised that I'd say only 5% of people, something like that, actually addresses me by my name. That's how bad it is. So I don't know where people found these like sort of like how to get on playlist tips, but they just use a copy and paste system. They just copy one text like hey and then comma, and then they have like this whole wall of text about how amazing their release is, or some story about their release that no one really has time to read, honestly. And and then it's just a link. And sometimes it's not even a story or in any introduction at all. It's just a link like, hey, how can I get on your playlist? ? And then a link. And that doesn't really entice anyone to add your song to their playlist. So if you're gonna reach out to someone, put yourself in their position. Like, what type of curator is this? Is it a company? Is it a person? And address them accordingly. And treat them as you would treat one of your friends, or like an actual human being, and not just some computer that you're copy pasting your track into, because that's not how it works. You need to have some sort of especially if you don't have a large playlist yourself, you don't have any leverage to work with, then at least make sure that the people that you're sending it to, you stand out in a positive way when you're reaching out in the way that you talk to them. So that's like my biggest tip I can give you. And it sounds super obvious, right? But you'll be surprised how many people are too lazy to find someone's first name. And that just like amazes me all the time. Because the people that actually do get on my playlist, when I think about it, they've all either got introduced through a friend, or they have at least addressed me in an email by my first name, and talked a little bit about what they do and how they can help me if I help them, right? So there's a way of like, hey, I want to give you some value, and that's something that I really hope, even if you get the course or not, that's just something that I wanted to share. I really hope that you understand that, and it will, trust me, it will get you so much further in this music industry or any business or any industry, if you work like that, 100%. And then so I also talk a little bit about services and PR companies, like stuff like Playlist Push, but also PR companies that ask a lot of money for pitching or whatever, and whether you should actually hire them or not. Then the cross promotion. So this part, the cross promotion and building a network, this video is actually online. If you haven't checked it yet, you can check it here. It's on PML's YouTube channel, and that's like a preview of the course. You can watch it there. I'm not gonna play it in here, but yeah, you can watch this whenever you want. It's a very interesting screenshot there. So oh, that's even better. Great. I love it. Amazing. All right, so yeah, you can check out this this video. It's a free preview of the course. So that's this chapter right here, where I explain how, you know, what the best way is. Yo, Alex, how's it going, man? Thanks a lot. Hey, there we go. Blank pages here. What's up? What's up? Yeah, so yeah, there I like shortly just talk a little bit about building your own network, because that's in the end what matters. You know, if you want to build a long-lasting career in the music industry, the best thing you can do is invest in building a network and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And talking about surrounding yourself with like-minded people, that's a good way in to to get you to the Discord channel. The link is in the description. So for those who haven't joined our Discord yet, it's a nice little place, a fun place, a safe space where you can share your music and you can get criticized on how shitty your kick is. That's what we're all about, you know, sharing the love and criticizing each other's productions. But yeah, no, all jokes aside, so with our Discord community, and any Discord community really is, yeah, it's, you know, I created this to, yeah, to get like-minded people together and share your thoughts, share your music, and grow together. And funny thing is that even some people that started out as sort of followers and beginning artists on our channel actually got signed to the label. So like a good example is Callum. I really love this track, by the way, The Light. We're getting some great responses. Also just got a couple of extra really good supports by DJs. I saw May Salome played it out in his radio show, and yeah, and he started out in our Discord community as well as Bound to Divide's community, of course. A lot of similar faces in Jules's Discord and in mine. But yeah, it's just an example of how you can grow in communities like this. And the same goes if you want to grow with Spotify. And actually, I think what I'm gonna do is actually, you know what? I'll just make it right now, because actually I am on Discord. I'm gonna create a channel. And I'm going to make a text channel, and is share your playlist. So I'm going to create a channel here. Where should we do it? Music business, gears and sound. I think here's a good one, right? Share your playlist. So yeah, that's a good idea. I like spontaneity. So here we go. I'll be the first, unless someone beats me to it. It will be embedded. There we go. Yeah, so one of the things with this course is also something where I really hammer on creating your own playlist. And I go in depth on how to do it, of course. But the gist of why you should make a playlist, it's not to get streams. Because honestly, when I started this playlist, which is now my largest playlist, I didn't think about, oh, I'm gonna get so many streams and I'm gonna be a millionaire. That's not at all what I thought about. I made this playlist first, it was private. I made it because I just put a bunch of tracks together that I actually really like to listen to when I'm just, you know, on a Sunday chilling or reading, or, you know, when I'm at home or walking through the woods, you know, stuff like that. And it just started out as a playlist that I just really enjoyed listening to. And my biggest playlist back then was Melodic Deep House, which was also the one that actually promoted quite heavily and, you know, connected it to my mixes and all that type of stuff. But all of a sudden, organically, people started listening to this playlist more than the melodic deep house. And like when it caught momentum and I saw that this playlist was doing well, I pushed it even further and brought it to like new heights through advertising and like all the tips and tricks I, you know, share in the course. But that's how it started. I made a playlist to share the music that I really enjoy listening to, and also in a sense that, you know, it's enjoyable to listen to. So like none of the songs are in like a weird order or something. And that was the whole reason I wanted to make this, to, you know, make something for myself, something personal, but also share it for the people that listen to my music and they want an alternative to the other playlists that I have. So that's how it sort of started, and that's also why I recommend you guys make a playlist. Don't make a playlist with the expectation of I'm gonna get a whole lot of streams, I'm gonna get whatever. That shouldn't be the ultimate goal. Of course it helps along the way, and it's great when you're getting great streams on your playlist, and you know, when your playlist grows and when it gets more popular, that's amazing, right? I think what it at first needs to do is it needs to have a purpose. So in my case, the purpose was I'm just chilling and I want to listen to the music that I love to listen to when I'm chilling. So that's why it was such a good playlist, because it's curated well. And when something is a good product, in this case a good playlist, then, you know, people tend to follow it by themselves, and it sort of grows by itself. So that's where the organic growth came in. Of course, the keywords, they help, but I do think, especially in the beginning, because in the beginning there's a very small chance that your playlist actually gets caught on through keywords. You need to do some promotion yourself. And it happened that people saw this on my profile and they just started listening to it. I didn't really promote it at all. So it just shows that the whole meaning behind the playlist was right. And when that happens, then it really accelerates when you start promoting it. And yeah, it can get you to the success that this one has. And it still grows a lot. It grows even more than in the beginning, honestly. Yeah, and then the last part is talking a little bit about some results. So here I've actually I'm showing you the exact Spotify for Artists analytics. I've never ever done this before, and at first I was kind of hesitant to do this because you know, it's pretty detailed information, right? And you don't really want to make it public. But then again, I thought I'm making this course to help upcoming artists or established artists or whoever needs the help. So I need to be as transparent as possible. So I'm sharing the information, the backend information of 3 tracks, including at first Motorcycle, because this course was recorded about 2 months after this track came out. So which you'll also see in the course. Then I also show the data and analytics behind Silent Games, and talk a little bit about how this track grew to almost 8 million streams and counting, because it still keeps going without any promotion at all. It's all organic streams or people actually adding it to their own Spotify or just like radio and algorithmic playlists. It never even got editorial playlist at all. It's just like everything's been mostly organic. And then Parachute, I also share the insights of Parachute. This one has actually been performing quite well since the last year. And I have a feeling, because it's released on Armada Electronic Elements, I have a feeling that for Electronic Elements they started doing Spotify Discovery Mode. So if you don't know what Discovery Mode is, it's if you saw the playlist, the Netflix miniseries, in I think it's the last episode, they're like Spotify's talking about, okay, we got a new mode where we can push upcoming artists or independent artists, and then in return we take 30% of their revenue. So you basically you pay royalties, so you get less royalties, but you get more exposure. And I'm just speculating here. I have a feeling that this label actually uses discovery mode, because the amount of radio streams that I'm getting, like algorithmic streams I'm getting on this track, all of a sudden out of nowhere is pretty crazy. So there needs to be some sort of explanation for it, but that is something that you can talk about with your distributor. I don't have it included in the course, discovery mode, because it's something that's quite new and it's more speculative. So that's why that's why I mentioned it here, but it's not something that I want to put in the course, because it's not something you can actually you can tell that it sort of exists, because it's rolling out in a beta system, and it's not something you can just apply for straight out of the gate. Yeah, all right. And then the last part, I have links included. So all links to platforms that I use, also discount links, so you can get a little bit of a discount if you like. We've partnered up with most of the parties that I actually talk about, and it's not that I talk about them because we're partners, but it's that I talked about them and I actually use their platforms, and afterwards I reached out to them to be like, hey, can we work together in a sense? So just so you know, that everything I talk about, everything I recommend, there's no hidden agenda behind this. It's all very transparent information. So yeah, the downloads part, I thought they were going to add it at the end, but the downloads part, there's also a added bonus. And I'm not sure if they mention it on the website, so I might have to get them. Oh yeah, there we go. So bonuses here. How to distribute music to Spotify and other platforms yourself, including my personal experience and recommended distributors. So over the years, I've had a lot of distributors that I use to get my music on Spotify and other stores. Some I've been quite happy about, others I've had way too many issues with. I'm not gonna blackmouth anyone here on stream. I do think you should do your own due diligence, but the recommendations I give in this PDF file, in this bonus chapter, it's a written file, by the way, so you can just read it at your own pace. But the recommendations that I give in this chapter are my personal experiences. Right now, I am signed to one of the majors. Actually, most of you guys that watch the stream already know. SEKORA and my other labels, we're signed to Universal Music as our distribution, as our distributor, and their distribution company is called InGrooves. It's definitely one of the best systems I've seen so far. But I was also talking to, so I have an old friend that I know that works at Sony The Orchard, that we had a meeting with, that I talked with about signing distribution, and also had some chats with Warner Music here in the Netherlands. And honestly, they're all great people, and they all offer great system, and they're all great companies. It's more about what you think suits best with your needs. So there's no good or bad, it's more personal preference, and that's also what I describe a little bit in this bonus chapter. But yeah, also added information about which ones I started with, which ones I would recommend to start with, and also the types of deals and contracts that you should look for when you sign with a distributor, because a lot of times there are hidden fees that you don't know about. So it definitely pays to figure out like what the structure is of how the distributor is set up, and how they can best get your music on platforms like Spotify, and how much of that Spotify money you're actually getting paid, right? Instead of it somewhere losing a percentage through some middleman that's being used. So all that type of stuff is in the bonus chapter, and that's of course included in the course. All right. Any questions? I don't see anything yet. I did see that we have a lot of people already sharing their playlists, so that's a successful one. And I do think we're probably gonna need to make some rules. So in our feedback channel, we have some rules where before you post your own track for feedback, you give some feedback on other people's tracks. So I think, I mean, now you can drop your playlist, but I do ask you to at least check other people's playlists first before you drop in yours. And what I'll do is I also, like right now I cannot play the music because then I get flagged and I get claimed on YouTube. But I'll definitely go through them and check them out. You know, see what's going on, how things are set up. And I think, you know, when it comes to playlists, I like this artwork here. It's cool. It's also really good artwork. Yeah, usually it starts with, so here for example Bram, I would really recommend making artwork or get someone else to do it for you. And if you don't know how to make an artwork, just get a simple picture of something. It definitely helps, like Pink Witch here has, for example. Getting a nice picture is the first thing that people see. So yeah, definitely drop them in, and we can get a community going, you know. And I think we can also do something like helping each other. You can follow each other's playlist. Anything that helps you get your playlist out there. And that's something that you can definitely start today. Start making your own playlist. Yeah, start getting into, you know, being a curator. Also, besides just being an artist that makes music, which is not bad, you know. If you're an artist who just want to make music and you want to be dependent on a label or dependent on someone else to do the work for you, that's fine. But you're either gonna have to be prepared to, you know, sign with a label and let them take care of most of the stuff, or you're gonna have to pay for it. So yeah, that's something you want to consider. But yeah, if you want to take matters into your own hands, increase your chances of getting signed to labels, and also increasing your streams, increasing the engagement that you have with your audience, then the easiest thing you can do right now is to just make a playlist that makes sense. Make something that you enjoy listening to, that you like, that reflects on who you are as an artist, and it will get you a very, very far. It will get you a long way. All right. I saw Pink Witch's question. Is it here? Yeah. Go into some older stuff. How about some classic Bound to Divide remix? Why not? Shuffle it up. All right, there we go. Yeah, so Pink Witch's question. We also got a question from Jeffrey here. How many songs is the right number for a playlist? So it depends. I've talked about this a lot with my friend who owns Suave. So if you guys don't know who Suave is, then you guys are really missing out. Suave is one of the largest playlisters on Spotify. He has quite a lot of followers as well. I think, and he has a lot of playlists. I think one of his largest playlists is like 1 million already. This is the TikTok list. Where is it? So yeah, as you can see, like a lot of followers on these playlists. And I actually talked to him about it. Let me check how much. Okay, 300. When we started out, he had like 100 tracks in his lounge music list. What I tended to do was I usually stick to 50. I used to stick to 50 tracks. And at some point, the catalog of myself, but also catalog of the label started to grow. And I also started to get more trades and everything. And then 50 songs just wasn't enough. And also what happened with, if you only have 50 songs on your list, then you have about 3 hours of listening music. And if people then listen on repeat, they might hear the same song a couple of times, which is good for, increasing the amount of streams. But I also have a feeling that people then tend to skip to a different playlist or put something else on if they hear the same song like a third time, right? So I used to do 50, and I always recommend starting out with 50. That's also one of the playlists that I talk about. This is one of the lists that we actually that we build in the course, and we start with 50 as well. So this used to be 50. This also used to be 50. But yeah, over time, it grew to like 70. Then I kept it at 70 for a while, and then now I sort of settled on 100, which is, it's long enough, but it's not too long. And yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if the amount of streams per track would decline a lot if I opted to 120 songs or 150 songs. I mean, I tested it with 50, so going from 50 to 70, I noticed that it didn't really decrease the amount of streams, so I figured, you know what, I'll just leave it, and then we can get more tracks in, we can get more streams overall, right? And then eventually also went up to 100 tracks in a list, and it sort of stayed the same, so it didn't really matter. But as soon as you go over like 200 or 300, that's where you get into territory where it's just too much, and you're gonna miss out on streams. So yeah, I would personally start with 50 and then cap it at around 100, but only if it makes sense. Like if you don't have to put in 100 songs, because if you're starting out, you only have a couple of your own tracks. Let's say you have 5 or 10 tracks yourself, and then you mix it with 45 or 60 or other tracks, then you're already at 50, you're already at 70. That's more than enough music to build a strong playlist. Like I said, that's how I did it for a long time, sticking to that amount of songs, and it turned out quite well. So I'm sticking to 100 for now, but yeah, looking at how fast the catalog of SEKORA is growing, then I might up it to let's say 120 or 150, something like that. Because yeah, I'm already like missing out on. I need more spots basically. All right, what else? Got hello from Sardinia, Italy. Buongiorno. If I say that correctly. I always have one thing I always say to the Italians is piacere di conoscerti. And I always say it wrong for some reason. I feel like it sounds right, but as an Italian, you're probably like, ooh, what is this guy talking about? Especially with the hands. But but yeah, it's that's my go-to way to meeting Italians. I said it right. All right, perfetto. Yeah, I have to, because the track that I made with Cecchi is actually Marco. He's and also LGU is also Marco, is also Italian. When I met these guys, for the first time in Amsterdam with ADE. We also DJ'd together and everything. LGU was there as well, Marco, and Cecchi was there. And Cecchi is just the funniest guy I have ever met. He was like he looks like this hard rocker guy, because he actually plays guitar as well, like really well in a band, I believe. And when you meet him, he looks like this tough guy, leather jacket, like rock star type of guy. And he's one of the nicest guys I have ever met. He's super grateful. He was really happy to just meet people and just be there in Amsterdam. And he also I got him a bed in our hotel room that with the SEKORA team. So yeah, this is one of the funniest guys I've met. And at some point we were sitting in Amsterdam at the hotel that we did the SEKORA events, and And I was sitting there with Marco and Marco, so I introduced them to each other, and they're like two of these Italian guys, you know. It was just the funniest thing ever. So yeah, good memories of the Italians for sure. Yeah, there was also a question from Pinkwitch. All right, so he says, on today's stream, I'd love to talk about strategies pitching releases to playlist curators in hopes of expanding reach for recent releases. Yeah, so that is something that I actually talk about in the course, where I go in depth about this. But also this question is something that I feel is more related to the stream that's coming at the end of the month. So the reason that we're doing it at the end of the month, which is the stream that's included in the course, you get an exclusive invite to it, and I'm pretty sure Pinkwitch will get it as well. But yeah, so in this stream that's coming there, that's the actual moment where I'll be answering these type of questions, because this is pretty in depth, and yeah, it takes a whole chapter in the course to explain everything that gets you those results. So I think we should save that question for the in-depth exclusive stream, and there we'll talk about it, and we can also tailor it to your specific situation, so we can go even further on this question. But yeah, for now, I think the strategies, there's also something that you can find. So if you want to get free content about this question, you can get it in the YouTube video that was posted today. There I also talk a little bit about it, and the rest is in the course. I mean, there's so much on this topic that I suggest just getting the course, or just watching it in the course, and then we go in depth about this topic in the exclusive stream. All right, so there was another question, I think. Oh yeah, Sebastian asks, is there any way to upload DJ sets on Spotify? And the most important, does it make any sense? Yes and no are my short answers. The yes part is you can get a mix on Spotify, but only if you have the rights to all the songs. So either you have licenses to these songs that you're allowed to use them, which are, especially with larger labels, and if you don't know them personally, it's quite hard to get, or it takes a while to get. But in my case, so for example, my latest SEKORA radio episode was only SEKORA music. So in this case, that episode I can actually upload to Spotify, and I can even monetize it if I want to. We haven't done that because we choose to just stick to the regular outlets. But previously, I did get SEKORA radio on Spotify podcasts. But the thing is with Spotify podcasts is that the podcast part is heavily focused on speech podcasts. So they don't want music podcasts. They want podcasts where people are talking. So they actually remove radio shows off the podcast. If you don't have the license, or if it's not your own content, then they just remove the podcast. So my radio show got removed. But even larger artists, I also noticed this. I think it was 2 years ago when I got my radio show on Spotify, and when it got removed, I was like, okay, is there something wrong with my radio show in particular, or is this a general thing? And then I actually looked up one of the largest radio shows, Martin Garrix, and his radio show also got removed from Spotify. I'm not sure if it's on there now. I haven't checked since that happened, but I do know that 2 years ago it wasn't on Spotify, and I'm pretty sure they know exactly what they're doing, because they have an amazing team and a really good marketing team as well. So it definitely was on Spotify. I remember asking my friend who actually works for Martin Garrix what happened, and I think he also explained it that they had it on Spotify, but Spotify doesn't allow radio shows, or at least not music that isn't cleared. And so long story short, I wouldn't really bother with getting your DJ mixes on Spotify, honestly. I personally think that SoundCloud and YouTube are the best places for DJ mixes. I know you also have Mixcloud, and Mixcloud is a great platform. It works well, but now they have like this new payment structure, and I don't know. I just feel like SoundCloud is the platform for mixes now, because no one really listens to individual songs on SoundCloud, I feel like. At least I don't. And I also noticed that when we post single tracks, it doesn't do as well as whole mixes. So now I feel like SoundCloud is the platform for posting your DJ mixes. And of course YouTube as well. So yeah, those I think those are my suggestions. I'm gonna go quickly into the backend, into my backend, and go set up a call with our good friends Chris, Angelos, Leo, and of course Mr. Greg himself. Let me check. What are we gonna use? We can probably use a. Okay. Let me check. Where is Leo Loretti? There we go. This shows how well prepared I am for this call. All right. It's always the moment that you when you're busy, people start messaging you on WhatsApp, so that's why you're getting these Yes, Greg, you are joining. Let me check. All right. Greg. Okay. There we go. I got Leo in here.
Hey, yo.
All right. We got Leo's beautiful face up large, live on the stream. Yeah, so Angelos and Chris, they're gonna join us now as well. There's Chris. How's it going, man? Where else? All right, we're waiting for Greg and Angelos.
What's up, guys?
What's up, everyone?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, spam. Stop spam, please. All right. Yeah, good to have you guys on the stream. I'm just checking the messages real quick.
Yo.
Pretty sure we can also hear you guys well. Turn down the music a little bit. All right. There we go. Yeah, just waiting for Angelos and Greg to join up. You forwarded the how do you say? You forwarded the link, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so first of all, thank you guys for releasing the track. Of course, I really liked it the first time I heard it. I believe we did have some feedback process, right, beforehand.
Yeah.
I can be a bit strict when it comes to that sometimes, but it's all in good faith, you know, making it a better track in the end. And yeah, I'm just glad to have you guys on SEKORA and yeah, doing the first ever remix competition here as well. So thanks a lot for that. How did you guys find the process? Oh, there he is, one and
What's
only.
up, everyone?
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Everyone's on
Oh,
board.
it's Greg in the house.
There it
Let's
is.
go.
Party started.
Yep. All right. Well, then we're all here. Perfect. Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys before we go into the remixes. We've picked a couple of really good winners. I first wanted to go into how was your process of making this track in general?
I feel that it was like it was kind of different from everything that we've done in the past. I'd say, at least for me, because we are great friends with Brandon, and Brandon said, like, I always work on top of the instrumentals. I'd love to do the like something in the piano and the vocal, and then you guys work on top of it. So it kind of started reversed in a way that it started with the vocal first, and then we did instrumental on top of it. But yeah, if you guys want to continue here, but it was quite nice and experience as well, because again, we always work without a vocal, so having a vocal to start with, it was already like a good like starting point from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, we went to music school in Montreal with Brandon, so it was nice to work on a track, especially with Leo, because maybe we've been in contact with Leo, what, 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah.
Time has flew, but it's really special to get everyone together on the project. And like he said, that we got the vocals first, and then we worked on the instrumental. So Leo sent us an idea, and then we just started working from there.
So it's like doing your own remix, sort of.
Kind of, yeah.
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 Yeah, I like that. You know, it's a different approach. I've done the same thing where you either start with a vocal or yeah, you make an instrumental and then have someone sing on top of it. Both of it can get you to completely different results, so it's always fun to try something else. And how did you guys find the process of the remix competition in general? Like, how did it exceed your expectations? Or because you had a lot of submissions, we had 200 submissions, which is crazy. And of course, we have an amazing prize package brought to you by Leo already himself. He paid for everything himself, out of pocket.
I mean, I've done the remix competition in the past, and I think that doing it for the second time was kind of like something really cool to do, because the first time was the hardest one to like understand how I can get in touch with everyone. Now I already had some companies that I knew that would participate, and some others that I thought that could participate, and I do some stuff for Isotope. I got in touch with them. Isotope is like, I think that's the first time that they participated with me. Melodyne at the same time. I've never seen Melodyne before, so it's been quite nice to have like a lot of different companies and plugins that not only like, these are all plugins that I use, that I like and everything, and probably the Mind of One guys use as well. And I feel that it's just giving to whoever wins just a great arsenal of tools. And like, I'm sure that your Black Friday is gonna come soon this year. And yeah, it was quite nice in that sense. And then again, starting the remix, the process itself, it's you sit back and relax for like 4 weeks, and then like Mind of One, if you guys want to continue how it was, the judging process.
Yeah, so basically we had to split the remixes, and you know, we had to judge one by one, you know, putting them in you know, past folder, this folder. But there's a lot of great remixes, and I want to thank everyone who participated. There was really a lot of really solid remixes, and it was really tough to get to the bottom 15, but we got there, and then eventually the top 3. So it was special for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think that we started listening to the remixes on the 15th, And I think that we were expecting to have a little bit more time, and then Wes called me on the 25th saying,
"You got me,
dude. You need to do this by the 1st," and I felt like there goes my holidays.
Yeah,
But,
and
I mean,
the funny thing was
Merry
as well.
Christmas. Get back to work now.
Yeah, okay.
no, but honestly saying, like, just as it happened with the original song, I remember Wes gave us some feedback that we listened to the feedback and said, okay, it makes more sense with the feedback, and I agree that it would take like probably a week more, but it was just like an hour more that we had to do during our holidays, and it was just fine, you know. Like essentially we did everything. We listened to all the remixes in codes, because if you listen through them on Label Radar, you're gonna see A remix, B remix, C remix. So I knew a lot of the people that were submitting, so I was like, that's not fair to judge A better than B because I know A, right?
Mhm.
So we listened to A, B, F, G. It was kind of like a code for every remix. We did, I think, 3 phases. We got from 200 to 60, from 60 to 30, from 30 to 15, and then from 15 to 3. And yeah, it was really, really nice. Like, I feel like, as I said I got in a call on Sunday on my Discord,
Mhm.
and I feel that the top 10 is just like the amount of creativity that the producers had over there is just so nice. And not only this, but like so many good submissions and everything that we liked it, but at the same time there was something that like, I like this one, but like this one I feel that it's better, so I'm just gonna let this one go. But I mean, essentially it was a really nice experience, like different to listen to how people can deal with your vocal in a different manner, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I was definitely surprised as well by the by the submissions. Yeah, we got some great winners. Also, variety in styles that I actually really enjoyed. Something that I might at first maybe would not consider on SEKORA, but these remixes made sense in a way where I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. So yeah, and actually, I want to tell the story of what happened with this me being so. Oh, all right, we had so much time, and now all of a sudden I decided that we need to finish it tomorrow. Yeah, what happened was, like, in the beginning of December, because the remix competition closed on the 10th, I believe, which was I was supposed to be in Morocco until the 10th. So no, was it? Something like that. Well, no, a bit later. I was in Morocco when it closed. That's the story. But the thing is, I got sick in Morocco, and then I had to come back. And after that, I've been like sick for 2 weeks, so I didn't like check emails, didn't check anything. And then you guys were already like, selecting some of the top preference tracks that you really liked. And then once I finally got better, which was right after Christmas, then I was like, all right, there's so much stuff I need to like catch up on. So I was making like crazy hours, crazy days, like from morning to late at night. And then this 1 hour where I had a bit of off time, where I was doing groceries and coming up with the ideas, I was like, oh no, the remix competition. That's like, let's go. So I texted Leo. It's like, hey, what's the status? Like, how far are we with the selection process, right? And he's like, yeah, we got down to like 50 or 30 or something like that. And I'm like, all right, can you get it down to 15 in 1 day? And he's like, what? I thought we had at least 2 more weeks. So he was stressing out. He's like, oh no, what's going on? So I gave him a call. While I was doing groceries, I had like my whole bag full of people watching me. He's like, who's this crazy guy talking about Leo Loretti and stuff? They're all like, Leo Loretti? What? Is he here? So, but yeah, no, yeah, we talked about it then, and we got to a good system that gave it a little bit more time, and we had a call, and we had a very democratic vote on the winners. I think everyone here is happy with the selection that we made. Even though there are 3 winners, there's also a 4th artist that I did want to mention, because We talked about this person as well. We really like this remix, but yeah, it just like we had to make a decision between one or two, and unfortunately, that was a fourth person. And it was so very close that I do want to give this person, this artist, a shout out on the channel and play the remix as well. So that's the first remix we'll be playing, and then we'll go from let's say then we go from the number 3 to number 2 to number 1. So I think what can be a nice thing to do is that we sort of announce the name of the winner, like each of us does. So I would do, let's say, the fourth, the honorable mention. I can start it up. Then let's say third place does Greg, does third place. Second place, Mind of One. And first place, the honors is to Leo. And what I'll do is I'll play the track in the background, and you guys will probably recognize the track, or at least I hope so. That's the that's the question. And then you can announce it, who the winner is, and then we'll show it to the audience. First, though, let me grab the page, the contest page. It looks a bit different now. But this is the contest page. So to give a quick summary of what the winners are getting, the first place possible release. So all of these 3 tracks have a possibility to release on SEKORA. We'll be going through a feedback process to get them release ready. So there's like all 3 of them have the potential to be an official remix, but that's something that we'll work on after the winners have been announced. At the first place, well, let's start with the third place. So the third place is going to get 50 Label credits, who is our partner for this remix competition. So shout out to Label. Thanks a lot for all the work and effort that you guys put into it. Then they get the Isotope Ozone 10 Standard. They get Sound Theory Golfos, Audio Modern Playbeat, freshly squeezed samples, the Serum Future Progressive number 3. Baby Audio All the Plugin Bundle, which is crazy. That's a really nice bundle. I have it as well. It's an insane bundle with a great couple of plugins in there. The Cosrock Production Bundle, Forefront True Pianos is also something that I use. Really nice. I actually paid for it though. Same goes with XON RC20 is one of my recommended plugins, and I also paid for it, so you are getting it for free, which is great. Mixed in Key number 10 and Captain Plugins Epic. Then also Sonarworks Sound ID full, no microphone though. You have to get that as yourself. The Ulean Loudness Meter Pro. Then Abstract Music Lab, which is Leo himself. Worldwide 2 Serum presets, and finally Cable Guys Kickstart 2, which I also personally use. Then second place, very similar. I'll just go through it real quick. 50 Label credits. Oh, okay, let me check that. Let me check the audio real quick here, guys.
No, I think that there is some background audio coming from Chris.
Yeah, that should fix it, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, then yeah, next up, so it's very similar. Playbeat, fresh squeeze samples. The only difference between number 3 and number 2 is, believe, XLN, you get XO. And other than that, it's pretty much the same, I'd say, unless I'm missing something. And then the first place, that's where the real magic is. 75 Label credits. You get the Isotope Mix and Master Bundle, which is a pretty big deal, I'd say. I don't think it's echoing. There's a feedback loop in the background.
Yeah, it's Chris. It's Chris. I think that it's gonna be solved now.
Yeah. Okay. Should be solved. Okay. Yeah. So then, Melodyne number 5 assistant. Mastering the Mix Bass Room, Sound Theory Golfos. Most of it also same as the other. Then excellent the Addictive Pianos, Mixing Keys. Again, Sonarworks, Uline, Loudest Meters, the Abstract Music Lab, Serum presets, and the cable guys. In this case, you get Shaperbox number 2 instead of Kickstart number 2. So Shaperbox is a bit more advanced in what it does, but it has a very similar style of features. All right, with that being said, we're gonna go into the first track, which is the 4th track that I wanted to give the honorable mention. So we're gonna have a playthrough of this track, and as I start playing it, let me look it up first. That's actually a good idea. And check the audio.
Do you want me to send it to you? I can send you a link.
No, I have them here, so don't worry.
Okay,
I just need to be like, okay, do not mess this up. Do not give someone third place that just won the contest and mess it up. They'd be like, oh, third place, that's pretty cool. I'm like, no, sorry, you were first. So this is 4th place, the honorable mention. Let's start the play. Let me check the audio here. Here. So the honorable mention is Fight For Us, the Fofo remix, if I say that correctly.
Nice
Let's do a playthrough, and then we'll talk about it later. And I'll be right back because I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
Top 3 coming after the break.
Cross will pass.
Yeah, this was a very unfortunate fourth place because it was definitely one of my favorites, and I also thought the the sound was good, the emotion was great, but yeah, at some point you just need to make decisions, and unfortunately, it just didn't make the top 3 because we have different reasons for it, but it doesn't mean that it's not good. So that's why I definitely wanted to play this track through to show as well, and unfortunately, you're not getting any prizes, but what I do want to offer you is a private session with me personally, because I do believe the sound that you have sounds perfectly for SEKORA. So even though this remix might not be for SEKORA now, so because it's not in the top 3, but I do feel like you probably have some unreleased music laying around, or music that you might want to get a second opinion on, and that's the prize I want to give you. So like, it's a bonus for the 4th place in this particular case, where I want to go with you personally through your tracks on the stuff that you're working on, and we can make it better. You can ask me whatever you want, or we can look at music that might be suitable for SEKORA, and we can work towards eventually also getting you released on the label, if that's something that you want to do. And if you just want to take my advice and my feedback and then sign with someone else, that's also cool. No hard feelings. All right. So number 3. By the way, Faufau, you can send me a direct message on Discord or Instagram, and then we'll get you sorted.
I'll send an email with you both. Don't worry.
Also good. Instagram also works.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I'm not trying to hype myself up, but that's a pretty sick prize, considering that I usually tend to not be available for demo feedback with Greg for like weeks. So getting a private session, that's like,
you're available.
It's okay.
Yeah, ask Greg, he knows.
Yeah, well done, Faufau, honestly. That's a top prize.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. We're gonna go into number
3.
Number 3. Let me. I know who's number 3. I know who's number 3. I'm gonna play it, and then pull it up, and then you can announce the winner. So I'm gonna remove.
Yeah, give it a play. I'm not sure he's in the chat, so we'll see if he hears it and pops up.
He's here.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him.
Here.
So that makes it even more fun. All right, so number 3. Can I get some drum rolls, please? Oh, let's start playing.
SEKORA Drum Fills Volume 1.
Exactly. Live recorded on stream. Yeah, whose is this?
But my heart, it urges to keep it close.
guys. People can see the chat. Don't use Google Chat.
Fight for us. Fight for us.
Alright, I'm gonna pull this one up. People already know who won, so you wanna announce it, Greg?
Number 3.
Well done, Alexander. Well done.
Or is we gonna keep playing the track?
This is particularly easy for users about short.
We'll discuss it afterwards, Greg.
But my heart, it urges to keep you closer. And any evil that we cross will pay. Keep you closer. Fight for us. Fight for us.
Cool, well, congrats. We got number 3.
Nicely done. Very
Congrats,
well,
Mr. Alex.
very well done.
And yeah, so because this is Greg's specialty, what were your thoughts on this track, Greg?
Flatter me. Yeah, it popped out sort of instantly when we started going through the remixes. You know, really unique groove to it. I was going through the YouTube comments just there while we were listening to it, and there's multiple people saying dreamy and loving the atmosphere, and yeah, that's exactly what it was. It's got a great atmosphere. The groove's great, and it's just a really nice interpretation on the original track. Completely different. Sounds nice and original. So, yeah, congrats. Really nice work.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. It's usually Greg needs to convince me about the break beats and all that style and stuff, because I don't get it most of the time. But this one definitely resonated with me, and I think this also was one of the tracks that we all had in our top 3, was it, or top 4 at least? So it stood out in a way that we all resonated with it, and yeah, I definitely love it. So of course we're gonna get you set up with all the rewards, all the prizes, and also I've talked about this with Leo, and Leo, do you want to also share what you're going to do with the potential release tracks?
Yeah, so basically we're gonna get in touch with you, and we're gonna get to work. And Greg has some feedback on the song about the drums and everything. He already sent it to me. So essentially we're gonna get in touch with you, give you the feedback, give you an explanation what needs to be done, and then we'll get it ready for release. But congrats on the song, like really amazing vibe. I think that all of us, we were pretty sure about this remix, so congrats on all that. And yeah, mind of one if you have something to say. So.
No,
Maybe-
very, very smooth track. Atmosphere is really nice, very dreamy, and very well-deserved 3. And I hope you enjoy the prizes and make more good music like you just did.
Yeah, for sure. You guys maybe also have some extra tasty spoilers for us, or
If you guys really want.
I told like be careful with the chat.
Danger zone.
No,
Danger.
I had a good laugh, so it's okay. But we're gonna play the runner-up, the second place. I'm gonna play it right now, and you guys, you can before I start when it starts playing, will be in a second. You guys can announce the winner. Let me grab it, and then we can go. So playing the runner-up right now. You guys say who it is.
So second place, a very well-deserved second place. And for me and my brother, this was our favorite one. Yep. And just do the honors. The runner-up is Paul. Congratulations, buddy. Really solid work. Really, really good.
Alright.
I really enjoyed your remix.
I'm gonna go through the track playthrough right now.
Wow. What a
Really
remix.
nice.
Yeah,
Really
I
nice.
really enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Yeah, and the same thing goes for this track. So with all the top 3 tracks, we've decided that we want to go into a feedback process where Leo, Greg, and myself are going to help the winners to get their track up to release standard. So we have some minor feedback things that can improve the track. And yeah, once that gets improved and we get it to the level that is release ready, then it will actually be released as a remix EP. We're contending, with all the contenders, all the winners included on that remix EP. So this is definitely something that is coming out as long as everything goes well, everything goes according to plan. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and this was also definitely one of my favorites. And it's it's very close to the SEKORA sound or stuff that we release. Then the next up is the winner. We're getting to the winner. Do you wanna give us a little bit of a background about this, Leo? Also, how the process went. What do you think of the track when you first heard it? Let's build some tension here.
I'm not sure if they're here. I hope they are. When I listen to this one, like, I'm a sucker for this genre, this kind of vibe and everything. And when I first heard it, I thought like, wow, the intro was a bit long. There were some things that we need to do over here and here, but like, I just loved the vibe. I feel that while going through the process of all the remixes, and I felt that this one was the one that among all of us that we scored the highest for. So it was kind of unanimous in that sense, almost unanimous. But it was just something to me so different than what came in all the tracks that I really liked it. Even though I feel that there are some stuff that I would do possibly in the drop 2 here and there, but I just really liked it. I love the vibe of it. Like, it's really close to one of my favorite songs ever in terms of the vibe itself. So it got me there.
Big praise.
Yeah, big words.
It was definitely the most original.
Yeah.
It definitely stood out from the rest, and
it
paid off.
100%. Greg, what were your thoughts first when you heard this? Tears of joy?
Yeah, always. Pretty much when I heard this before, I reckon maybe it was the 3rd track that I listened to out of sort of like the 15, 20 that we filtered down to. And at that point, when I first heard it, I pretty much was sure that this would be my number one in the before I'd heard any of the other tracks. It was just Leo said it's so original, sort of not what I think many of us were probably expecting to hear, but it just works, and as well as it being original, the production's great. So yeah, well played to the mystery winner.
Yeah, 100%. And I completely agree with what all you guys said. Is that when I was going through the tracks, this was the one that got me like sitting straight and was like, all right, this got my attention. And even though it's something that, I would definitely play this in my radio show, it might not be the exact sound that you listeners would expect on SEKORA, but still for some reason it fits exactly into the vibe. And that is what I think makes it so special, is that yes, it is different, but it still really fits. So without further ado, let's get those drums rolling. Unlimited snare rolls building up. Wait, do I have the right one?
Yeah, make sure.
Yeah, I think I do. Ooh. Is this? Yeah, this is the right one, right?
If you want to check with me, if you want to check before, then
Greg, WhatsApp me. No, this is the right one.
Okay. So I don't know how to pronounce this correctly, but from what I've checked, they are a duo from Sweden called Laked. I don't know how to say this. I feel there are two people.
Yeah.
And David and Casper, I'm on their Instagram right now. So congratulations on the remix. It was just
Congrats.
so amazing.
Yeah.
that, I don't know. Just couldn't say no to it. It was just so cool.
Totally agree. Let's get into it. Let's play it through.
Oh, there you are.
Want us to break
Hey.
down, trying to fight us both, erase what we found. But my heart, it urges to keep you closer. Come on, light the way, and any evil that we cross will pay. No matter what, I'll fight for us, fight for us. Even if the world becomes all corrupt, dust to dust, we'll escape from reality, give another chance to the dreams. No matter what, I'll fight for us. No matter what, I'll fight for us. I'll fight for us. I'll fight for us. Even if the world, I'll fight for us. I'll fight for us. I'll fight for us.
Yeah, and just commenting a little bit now. Mason just mentioned like looks like French house, and it's like exactly what I felt it was. It just sounded too much like not too much, but it was unique, but close to Madian, and I just love Madian, so that's what like really caught me in that one.
I feel like putting a helmet with LEDs on it on my head right now. Start dancing like this. You know.
No matter what, I'll fight for us, fight for us. Even if the world becomes all corrupt, dust to dust, we'll escape from reality, give another chance to the dreams. No matter what, I'll fight for us. No matter what, I'll fight for us. I'll fight for us. I'll fight for us. Even if the world, I'll fight for us. I'll fight for us. I'll fight for us.
Yeah, really nice. Really happy with this. And yeah, also we're gonna get in touch, of course, for the prizes. So first of all, big congrats to the winners. How do you pronounce it? Liked? Is it liked music? Liked. I think it's liked.
Yeah, I'd say liked as well.
Yeah, that's what I would think as well. But I think it's an original name. The remix is even more original. I really like this as well. Type of stuff I've always been into. But it's also refreshing to get this sound on SEKORA, because I do feel like it fits. It fits with the vibe. You know, it's a bit more uplifting than the stuff that we usually release. But it does have this thing. I'm like, yes, it makes sense. So I'd be happy to release this. Leo and Greg and myself, we're going to be in touch to work on the track a little to get it up to release ready, because there is some feedback that we have. Yes, Leo.
No, finish what you're saying, and then I'll just have one thing to say before people start leaving.
Okay. No, yeah. So there was this one thing also I saw in the chat. I saw you mention it in the chat, Leo, with posting the remix. So if you have made a remix and you want to share it on your SoundCloud or your YouTube, you're free to do that. That's not an issue. That's no problem at all. However, you are not allowed to distribute the song. So you cannot send it out to Spotify and tag any of the artists, that type of stuff. Sometimes there's some confusion to it. I know most of you guys have the common sense to not do this, but I wanted to mention it anyway. So feel free to upload it on SoundCloud or YouTube as an unofficial remix. Officially, you would call it a bootleg. That's what an unofficial remix is. Share it with your friends. You know, you can share it in the Discord like we did with the contest. All good. I love every one of you that participated in this remix. So yeah, thanks a lot for that. I hope you enjoyed participating in the remix. For me right now, not sure. We're gonna close the stream in a couple minutes. Hang out for a little bit still. But Leo, what did you wanna say?
So you can, even though if you didn't win, if you had participated on the remix, thank you so much for this. I've sent an email to everyone with the submission link. So if you want feedback on your remix, we can give feedback to you. Just go there, submit it to us, and we're gonna give feedback to you. We're also opening on my Discord as well. We're also opening if you want to listen to other remixes as well. We're gonna open a chat over there in which you can post your remix over there, and you can listen to other remixes from other people as well. But just wanted to get this moment to thank everyone, especially the top 4 that we mentioned today. I feel that these remixes were really, really, really good. We are gonna contact everyone in the top 3 for the prizes. So look into your email. That there'll probably come some emails from the companies that we mentioned before, and also myself and Greg will probably be in touch with you. Possibly I will even get in touch on a Zoom call with you top 3. So yeah, but again, thank you so much for this. And again, I just love this remix. It goes. There are a couple of comments that even when I was listening to it, I was like, how can this it needs to be the winner, but I want to add this and this, and I was like, no, it just deserves to be the winner. And I'm just gonna say this to them later. But congrats on the remix. It's just so good. I love the vibe, and again, it just reminds me a lot of Madion. And I mean, if someone said that my music reminded me of Madion, I would be so honored. So yeah, that's kind of the ultimate praise that you're gonna get from me in terms of songs. But yeah, congrats on the remix. Depot, also congrats. I didn't mention that before. Fofao, also congrats on that. And also Alex at the sea, yes, congrats on your remix as well.
Yeah, great words from Leo himself. Is anything you guys want to add, Chris or Angelos?
You want to go first, Ange?
Yeah, sure. So I just wanted to thank everyone for participating. I mean, there was a lot of really great remixes. And like I said before, it was pretty hard narrowing it down to 30, then 15, and then 3. But
especially with me pressuring you guys.
Yeah, especially pressuring you. But no, we made it work. I mean, congrats to everyone that participated. It really means a lot. Congrats to the top 4. Really solid remixes. Yeah, thank you guys once again. It was a real pleasure.
So yeah, pretty much what Ange said. I really want to thank everyone who participated. There was a lot of great remixes, and even just listening to everyone's take on it was very interesting, and also gave us some inspiration with all the different styles and stuff. So really appreciate everyone, and congrats to the winners. Very well deserved. And I mean, if you weren't in the top 3, top 4, hopefully it's inspiration to just keep on pushing.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Greg, anything you wanna add? How's your experience with this contest?
Obviously, just echoing what the guys have said and thanking everyone for entering. But I guess one thing I think this remix competition shows is that Winner is probably not the sound that a lot of the guys were expecting, and maybe something that you wouldn't be expecting from SEKORA, but just shows, you know, be unique,
Yeah.
you know, find your own sound, and yeah, it just pays dividends, and that's what won it for Light at the end of the day. But great remixes from everyone, and congrats to the winners, and thanks to everyone who entered.
Yeah, I totally agree. Especially on that last note that you mentioned, the uniqueness. It shows that, you know, even though we have a certain sound that we like and that we release quite often, it shows that, you know, you should, as an artist, figure out what you want to make, what your sound is, and then see, you know, what you can come up with. And yeah, exactly like Greg says, the winner of this it was almost unanimous, and it's something that's completely different from what we usually release. But yeah, we like it so much that it makes sense. And my lights just shut off. Anyway, I think it's a good moment to take a track for one more spin, and then we're gonna close out the stream soon.
And just wanted to take this last moment to thank SEKORA, Greg, and the
Absolutely.
committee,
Yes.
like not only for signing the song, but also for giving us the opportunity to do the remix competition. Just means a lot, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys
Thank you.
for everything.
Thank you guys for being there as well and all the efforts. I really enjoyed it, and yeah.
During the holidays.
Yeah.
Of course. What
pressure.
else? That's what I'm all for, you know. Greg is always with me. I mean, like, working with me is always like, couldn't you just figure this out like last week so I had time to prepare? It's like, no, I want it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. And he's like, oh man, come on. Let me relax.
We'll take care
It's
of it.
Christmas, please. Yeah,
Cancel
no,
your
it's
I'm not coming in.
yeah. No, thanks a lot for all your efforts. Also with the original track, of course, because without that, it wouldn't even be possible to do this remix competition. And I'm definitely looking forward to, getting more music from you guys. And as I say, just in general, you know, receiving more demos and all that type of stuff. And just taking your profiles, your music to the next level. And hopefully we can do another remix competition soon. We'll see. So thanks a lot for you for that, guys. We're gonna close up the stream. We're gonna play the track one more time. I'm gonna kick you off of Google though. I do hope you're gonna stay with us in the chat so we can chat a little bit later after the stream. I'm also gonna dive into the Discord channel where we can chat a little bit further. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot for joining in, and
Pleasure,
I'll see you
everyone.
in the chat.
Pleasure, guys.
Cheers.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
And then let's play this beautiful remix one more time.
Even if the world becomes all corrupt, dust to dust, we'll escape from reality, give another chance to the dreams. No matter what, I will fight for us. No matter
All right, that brings us to the end of the stream. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And of course, we're closing up with the original Fight for Us. So again, a big shout out to everyone involved with the remix competition, but also the Spotify Masterclass stuff that we talked about in the beginning of the stream, of course. And yeah, it's been a pleasure working with the guys from Production and girls from Production Music Live on this project. It's been a big project. For me, it's something that I've wanted to do for years, and I'm really happy that it's finally out. And I definitely think that the information in this can change your life, especially like your musical life, if you have tracks on Spotify, just the way it did with me. And that's the exact reason that I made this whole thing, that I put in so much time and effort into recording and editing and going through feedback and editing the curriculum, everything that's in there. So I think you'll definitely find a lot of value in this course, and I'm sure it will help you take your music and your Spotify profile to the next level. So if you did get it, thank you a lot for supporting as well. I hope you enjoy the course. Also hope you enjoy the remixes and the competition as well, participating as well as the final results, the final winners. So we're going to go into the process of getting them finished. And once they're finished, we're going to make a grandiose release. And of course, all of us are going to use all the tips and tricks to build it as big as possible on Spotify. I have a feeling that this remix EP can be very successful, especially with the different genres that have won. So thanks again for joining. Thanks again for participating in the remix competition, or getting the course, or just watching, just being there. I really appreciate it. So I'll be in the lounge on the Discord for a little bit. We can have a chat there. If you want to join us, feel free to join. If you don't want to join us, that's also cool. I'm all cool with it. Doesn't matter. So hopefully see you there. And yeah, that was it for this week. It was a busy stream, but I really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye. Peace.